What's going on? Today we got speed work, then I'm going to coach a session, I got a meeting, and then we're going to get into a lower body lift in the afternoon. So we're going to spread out these sessions today, give a little bit of rest in between. We're still on this deload, we're finishing this deload out this week with today's session and tomorrow's upper body work. I'll take you through some of my warm-up today. We're going to do some extensive hopping. I'm going to show you a drill that I've been doing for my ankles because I got this medial shin pain and I think it's due to some weakness with that soleus, the tendons, everything running down the inside part of my shin. So I'm going to develop that area using a specific drill that I'll show you and explain to you. We'll do some high hurdle hops, and then we got 6 total sprints today. We're gonna do a build up to 30 yards. We'll do 2 20s and 3 30s. So really simple, no flying 10s. I'm just doing straight sprints, shortening the distance. Today's volume is probably 25 to 50% lower than what it's been for the last, I'd say 5 to 6 weeks. Pretty significant reduction in volume this week, and hopefully next week we rebound feeling pretty good. So let's get into this warm up. So the drill that I've been doing for my ankles, you're hopping diagonally across a line, and once you get back here, this foot is going to evert. So during that eversion, when I jump back, my foot arch is collapsing and my foot is rolling down this way. So I'm getting a rapid stretch and tension placed on the inside part of my shin right here. So focusing on arch stability, ankle stability, and being able to handle that heel drop and resisting that heel drop as I go through this. So we're gonna do 10 each direction diagonally. Okay, we'll do the same thing 2 more rounds. We're gonna add a little intensity as we go, and I'm actually gonna start moving in random directions now, just adding some variability to this, and I'm also gonna try to jump a little bit higher. One more round of those, still gonna try to add some intensity, get a little more height. With these, I'm kind of just going to the point of fatigue where the elasticity kind of drops off the table, maybe the coordination goes out the window, and I just fatigue out and start to burn. Pretty much know when that is. It's not rocket science, but ideally I'm getting like 15 to 20 contacts per set per foot here. We'll start adding some speed, increasing the forces coming down on that ankle, using some A-skip drills. This is another good utility for A-skip drills. Again, the focus isn't mechanics here, it's really just increasing the impacts on the ankle, just getting extensive contacts back. This is more therapeutic for me. I'm gonna do a quick drill now called prancing. If you were at the CSCCA conference, or if you know Jimmy Radcliffe, this was one of the things that he presented on, and it's a good way to time the switching of the thighs. It's also really good for that elastic feel off the ground, which I'm trying to drill today and develop contacts with, so we'll hit those for 2 rounds. Kind of tough to get the rhythm down on that, but we're gonna keep drilling it. I'm gonna hit it for 1 more. Quick random note on hydration and what I drink as I'm training. Before I train, I get a ton of water in, usually coffee in the morning, obviously, which I need. I got my collagen, peptides, I've got my creatine monohydrate, especially before explosive activities and sprinting and heavy lifting. That's very important for me to get in. But while I'm training, I usually drink Drip Drop, 1 packet, or 2 Propel electrolyte packets with this much water, which I don't even know how many ounces of water this is. This is 32 ounces. So 2 Propel packets, which are 210 milligrams of sodium each, especially in the summer months, losing all this sweat and water out of my system, making sure that I am replenishing that as the session goes. And you know, you should really try this out, and you might find that you're able to sustain your outputs longer throughout a session. It's not always your work capacity, it could just be you're depleting so many metabolic resources and minerals and electrolytes throughout your training. You need to be recovering those energy sources and replenishing those energy substrates. Very important that you do something like that. again, I got 420 milligrams of sodium here, and I've already had, you know, banana, yogurt, berries, protein powder, cinnamon this morning, and the other things that I mentioned. That was my lighter breakfast, and then after this, it's going to be a heavier breakfast: ground beef, eggs, avocado, another banana probably. We'll see what kind of fruit I feel like getting. But that's kind of how I'm fueling these sessions. On these hurdle hops, the height is not that high today. I'm keeping it like at a moderate height. One, I'm trying to reduce the intensity of this, and two, the prioritization is ground contact time, not the height. So I'm really trying to train my ankle to handle that better, and raising the intensity is not as important as training the efficiency of the collision with the ground. Again, in this deload, the focus has gone from intensive back to extensive, and the intensity is going to be lower. Really trying to just focus on a quick interaction with the ground, develop confidence again with my ankle, build work capacity, and get that ankle firing and functioning the way that I want it to handle this next block of training, because we're going to keep focusing on speed. That's what I need. That's what I want to pursue right now. In order to do that, we got to scale back on some of these Plyos because we've been hitting them hard for a couple weeks. So just reducing the intensity of the impact once again. You might also wonder why I'm barefoot. I want to increase the maximum amount of sensory input to my lower leg that I possibly can right now. I don't want anything supporting me. I want everything to be just my own system. Maybe you like doing it with your shoes on, that's all fine. I think it gives me a good feel, and maybe you should try it. If you're having a lower leg issue, it might be really helpful to just get out of your shoes and just focus on the stiffness of your own system without relying on anything else. And I know you're gonna sprint in shoes, I know that. So when you get to that stage, you can put shoes on. Things like this, things like drilling, where you're really trying to focus on foot arch, or whatever kind of really minute specific thing you might want to be focusing on, I think it really works well to get out of your shoes. We're going to add some variety to this. We're going to take just one hurdle out and do lateral hurdle hops over it side to side. You see this challenges your coordination? You see how important this stuff is, to just throw in a random thing into the mix and just see what happens. I keep moving forward and back. We got to try and control that. Much better. One more set of those. So that right there, that is the prime example, or the epitome of self-organization. You throw a movement problem at an athlete, they need to figure it out and reorganize their system where their attention is driven to solve that task. Athletes thrive on variability. There is only upside to be had with things like this. So try to find stuff like that to throw into the mix. It could be any kind of jump. Okay, if you're doing vertical jumps, maybe you start from a kneeling position one day. You know, you could do that instead of just a normal counter movement. Throw some movement challenges into it and get yourself out of your comfort zone. All right, it's a solid 5 sets of hurdle jumps right there. Feeling really good and primed. We've been at it for 14.5 minutes. And if you can see that, 14.5 minutes, and our warm-up's pretty much done. We've got all our Plyos in, so we're on good track here. We're gonna do a 6-step acceleration. The other day I did 4 steps. I wanna do 6 because I feel like I'm standing up too soon in my accelerations. So 6 steps, maybe we'll try to focus on today, just staying a little lower for longer, because you don't wanna stand up too quick when you're accelerating, because the quicker you stand up, the less time you're spending in your start, pushing the ground away behind you, and you're redirecting that force. You're moving from horizontal force to vertical too soon. So you gotta ride your acceleration out a little longer. So that's what I'm going to work on today with my 6-step drill. We're going to go 3 aside, do a warm-up build-up, and then we'll hit our 220s and our 330s. I'm not really sure what it was about that one, but that was one of the best accelerations I've had in a long time. I'll have to watch that back. My focus was actually being more vertical out of the start, and I think that might be helpful for someone like me because I have long limbs. So I might need to make more space for my leg to come up so I can strike the ground. and maybe that's why I've been kind of casting my shin out, hitting the ground out in front of me. I might need to make more room for my legs to move and get some height to get into a powerful position, but I'll need to watch that back later and see. I've definitely unlocked something today. Again, I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to break this video down. I feel really, really good. We got our warm-up 30-yard build-up now, getting out to higher speeds. Then we'll do 220s, 330s. Here we go. .330s coming up right now. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're currently testing the stadium speakers. It's giving me game day vibes. I cannot wait. Outstanding speed session. Very happy with it. I'll show you some clips of my lift later, but I'm not going to do much commentary. So I'm going to thank you right now for joining. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'd really love to give you guys more value. Shoot some questions in the comments. Let me answer them for you. Give me some ideas for some new content. I'm having fun with this, so let's keep riding this wave. I'll see you later. Peace. I know what you're thinking. He has to get his knees up to get onto the box. Better intent, better outcome. I'm going to do a few approaches now. Seven minutes and I'm ready to lift. Any corrective exercises I'll do, that'll be in my rest periods for my main lift and my accessories. .59 with a 1.03 RSI. Yeah, 1.03.